You are 13.8 billion years old. Not your body, but the atoms inside it. Every particle of you was forged in a dying star. So the real question isn't where humans came from. It's why it took the universe this long to make something that could ask that question. In the next 10 minutes, we're going on a journey. Not the passport kind. The kind that changes how you see yourself. We'll start 13.8 billion years ago. We'll move through the first living cells, through millions of years of change, all the way to the first human standing up on the African plains. And we'll end here, with you. Because the same brain your ancestors used to hunt for food, it's the reason you feel anxious, creative, lonely, in love. It's all connected. This species nearly went extinct. More than once, it almost didn't make it. And somehow, against all the odds, it built cities, wrote music, and sent robots to Mars. By the end of this video, you'll know where you came from. And I promise, it's stranger and more beautiful than anything you were taught in school. Let's start at the beginning. Not the beginning of humans, the beginning of everything. 13.8 billion years ago, there was nothing. No space, no time, no matter. Then, in less than a second, everything exploded into being. The first stars burned fast and died hard. They exploded. And in those explosions, they made new elements: carbon, oxygen, iron, the building blocks of life. Here's the part that should stop you. The iron in your blood right now, it came from a star that died before our sun existed. You are made of stardust. That is not a metaphor. That is a fact. 4.5 billion years ago, our sun was born. Rocks clumped together around it. One landed in just the right spot. Not too hot, not too cold. We call it Earth. Deep in the early oceans, near boiling volcanic vents, something happened. Simple chemistry became something new. Molecules started copying themselves. Life began. For 3 billion years, that was it. No animals, no plants, just tiny cells, learning to survive. But without those 3 billion years of practice, none of the rest of this happens. The universe spent 13 billion years building the stage. Now it was time for the main act. Here's the first thing most people get wrong about how we got here. Evolution is not a straight line. It's not a march from simple to complex. It's a bush. Wild, messy, full of dead ends. 99% of all species that ever lived are gone. Forever. The ones that made it weren't always the strongest. They were often just the luckiest. Or the most adaptable. Usually both. Life moved from the oceans to land. Reptiles took over. Then, 66 million years ago, a rock the size of a city hit Earth. In under a year, 75% of all species were gone. Every large dinosaur, wiped out. But it wasn't just an ending. It was also a door. Small, warm-blooded mammals had been hiding in the shadows the whole time. Underground, nocturnal, surviving in the margins. When the giants disappeared, the small ones took over. One group of mammals moved into the trees, and the trees changed them. To survive up there, you need good grip. Sharp eyes, the ability to judge distance. Sound familiar? That's your hands. That's your vision, shaped by life in the canopy. About 7 million years ago, one branch of these tree-dwelling apes started spending more time on the ground. The forests thinned. The climate cooled. Open grassland spread out ahead of them. Adapt or disappear. They stood up, not overnight, over hundreds of thousands of years. But standing changed everything. It freed the hands. Free hands meant tools. Tools meant a smarter brain. One small posture shift. The biggest chain reaction in the story of life. But here's the thing. All of that just made a clever ape. What turned that ape into us? That came later. Much more recently. Much more suddenly. And no one fully understands why. For hundreds of thousands of years, early humans were just another animal. Smart, social, but not special. Then something shifted, something in the brain, and it changed everything. Around 70,000 years ago, humans started doing something no other animal had done. They made art. They told stories. They buried their dead with flowers. They planned weeks ahead. They imagined things that didn't exist yet. At the same time, another human species was living in Europe, the Neanderthals. Bigger-brained in some ways, physically stronger, nearly the same DNA as us. But something was different, and within 30,000 years of our arrival, they were gone. What made us different wasn't muscle. It was the ability to cooperate, in large groups, with strangers. And here's the key. We could cooperate around things that don't physically exist. Laws, money, nations, shared beliefs. A dollar bill has value because we all agree it does. A border exists because we all agree it does. No other animal does this. This ability, to believe in shared stories, is our true superpower. It's why 10 humans can beat 1,000 chimps. Every time. Think about that for a second. The thing that makes you human, it's not your opposable thumbs. It's not your big brain. It's your imagination. Your ability to believe in something you've never seen. That is what built every civilization on Earth. And once that ability switched on, we didn't stay put. We moved. Everywhere. Faster than any species ever had. Every single human alive today traces back to one population. In East Africa, around 70,000 years ago. That's your origin. That's mine. That's all of ours. Small groups left, walked north, then east, then further. They crossed land bridges, sailed open water, climbed mountain ranges. Over thousands of years, humans reached every corner of the planet. Along the way, something unexpected happened. They met other human species, Neanderthals in Europe, a group called the Denisovans in Asia, and they didn't just fight them. They had children with them. Today, most people outside Africa carry a small piece of Neanderthal DNA. You might too. Every face you've ever seen, every language ever spoken, every culture, every tradition, every religion, all of it came from that one group. In one place. In Africa. There is a person who lived roughly 200,000 years ago. Scientists call her Mitochondrial Eve, from whom every human being alive today descends through the maternal line. She wasn't the only woman alive, but her line survived. Yours did too. And that matters. Here's where it gets personal. Your brain is ancient. It was built for a world that no longer exists. And it's running that old software right now inside your modern life. Your fear of being left out? That was survival. Being cast out of your group 50,000 years ago meant death. Your craving for sugar and fat? That was smart. Calories were hard to find. Your obsession with status? That determined who ate and who didn't. Those instincts kept your ancestors alive. But now they're misfiring. In a world of infinite food, infinite information, and constant social comparison, your ancient brain can't keep up. And that gap, between the world you were built for and the world you live in, is the source of a lot of modern pain. But here's what I want you to take from all of this. You're not broken. You're ancient. You are the result of 13.8 billion years of the universe figuring itself out. Every struggle you have makes sense when you know where it came from. You're made of stardust. You carry the DNA of survivors. and you are the only thing in the known universe that can look up at the stars and wonder where they came from. Humans have been asking where we come from for as long as we've been human. It's one of the oldest questions we have. If this made you think, even for a second, hit like. It helps more people find this. And subscribe if you want to keep going. Because the story of being human, we've barely started.